Guys, welcome to Motoroids. My name is Amit and this, as you know, is the MG Hector, but this one here is the 2023 version and it incorporates a lot of changes that you'd be very excited to know about. And before we start talking about the changes, let's first talk about what's happening with the Hector. So it featured a lot of firsts for its segment, but of late the sales have been dwindling. And while 1 lakh units have been produced of this car in India, it really needed to be jazzed up a little to reinvigorate its sales numbers, and MG have done exactly that by incorporating some really nice aesthetic and functional changes on this car. The big news here is the introduction of level 2 ADAS functions with a lot of new features not available in some other cars with that function. So let's talk about the styling of this car first, and as you can see, the grille here is a lot more imposing than what it used to be. It comes down further and the smaller studs on the grille earlier have been replaced by this diamond studded grille here, which looks really nice and jazzy, a little too ostentatious for my liking, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are going to love it. You also have this piano black insert here and here as well, while the DRLs and the swipe out blinkers have been kept just the way they were. Now, of course, since the grille is bigger, the bumper design has changed and you have the bumper completely redesigned. You have this chrome insert at the bottom. The radar for the ADAS can be seen there. And the 360 camera, as before, is right here, but now it is HD. The headlamp setup is the same as before, but as a part of the ADAS setup, these headlamps are now auto dimming and detect headlight, and you generally won't have to go through the hassle of putting it on high or low beam. Overall, from the front, this car looks a lot more jazzier to me, and for quite a few of you will appeal a lot. From the side, the car has not changed much. It has 18-inch wheels, machine cut alloys, and there is not much that can be seen in terms of changes on the sides. But at the rear, you have again some significant changes, and the biggest one amongst them is this connected LED tail lamp strip, and these slanted slats which connect the tail lamps look rather nice. You also have this ADAS branding here, and the Internet Inside branding has been taken away. The bumper at the rear also has been redesigned, and you get these skid plates, this chrome insert, and these 4 exhausts that obviously don't have the tailpipe rests here. As I mentioned, those of you who like chrome on their cars are probably going to like what MG have done with the design of this car, and the tail lamp also adds the beauty of it in dark. Now, before we get in, an important thing that you do well to know is that you can have a digital key on your cell phone for this car, which can be used by 2 people at the same time. One key will have all the functions while the other will be limited, and that's a feature unique to this car. On the inside also, the dashboard has been completely overhauled, and now this car gets India's largest central touchscreen at 14 inches. The design of the dashboard has also been completely changed. It gets soft to touch materials and is now a 2-layer setup. All of these materials are now soft to touch, and the AC vents are horizontally laid out. It looks really nice and neat now, and I must say that this does look more premium than how it used to look before. This central screen is the pièce de résistance, and of all the cars we have, it probably has the most number of features, and it does really look the part. It's almost like a TV right here, and it's not just the size of it, the features on this car have also increased. So let's start talking about them one by one. Now let's start from the right hand side, and looking here, you would see that you have this power tailgate release button here and the mirror controls along with the brightness control. So all of that is nice, and the brightness controls here change the brightness on this digital screen here, which is again new, and right now it may not look very high resolution because it has this film of plastic over it, but the MID has been removed and the analog speedo and tacho have been replaced by this all digital instrument cluster, which is loaded with a lot of information. So this is a new introduction along with this big screen. Of course, The gear selector lever on the CVT is also new. You get an electronic parking brake. Obviously on the automatic version, on the manual, it's still the lever. Two cup holders with a tambour door over it and a sliding armrest, which is rather nice, along with a decent amount of space inside and a 12-volt power socket. The central panel here is done in this brushed aluminum finish, which looks rather premium. You have wireless charging as before, and the lettering for the drive mode engaged is also rather nicely done. You have the eco mode button here to save some fuel, and then you have the controls for the ventilated seats. Put the AC on max and turn the traction control off buttons here, along with a hazard button right here. Now as you can see, you have strips of ambient lighting here, and this ambient lighting can be changed to 8 different colors. And it's not just that, these ambient lights can also be controlled via voice commands, which is a new feature. The sunroof was controllable through voice commands, and now you can move the sunroof back by increments of 10% by using this screen as well. Now let's have a look at this new touchscreen and see what all functions are available. So it comes with a native Map My India navigation app, which is fantastic. So you don't really have to rely on your Google Maps, and this functions even when there's no network. Now a lot of physical functions on this car can also be controlled using this menu here. For example, as I mentioned, for the sunroof, you can slide it to open it to the level that you want, and the percentage of the opening can be controlled from right here. So 50%, 40%, 30%, 10%, as much as you want can be controlled from here. So for example, I'm picking 50%, and you'll see that the sunroof goes back by 50%. So that's a unique feature here. And all the settings for lamp, ambient lighting, windows, locks, tailgate, side mirror, wiper, wireless charging, and tire pressure monitoring system can be controlled, and it's very easily, very intuitively positioned here, so it's very easy to control all of that. Now the MG Hector has always been a connected car, but additional features have been added to this connected car system, and the iSmart suite now has 75 plus features, which is one of the highest in the segment, and which really means that this car has one of the highest number of connected car features in its segment and beyond. A significant part of the additional features includes 100 voice commands, where 50 plus commands are in English. Hello MG.
Yes,
Ghar chalo.
you have not set a home address.
Hello MG.
Hello, what else can I help you with?
Temperature बढ़ा दो.
Okay, temperature is raised to 18 degrees.
So as I mentioned, there are these new commands in Hindi as well as English, which are recognizable by this system. I really believe that the way it's processing the commands could have been faster. It's not the fastest of the systems. The commands could have been embedded for a faster response, but it works nonetheless. And let me just close this sunroof as well. Hello MG.
Hi, how can I help?
Sunroof बंद कर दो. Now as you can see, there are some online functions which include GeoSavan, iCall, Shortpedia for news, and other features which require you to be connected to the internet. Now as I mentioned before, the camera here has been improved, and the resolution of the camera, while it was always 360 degree, is now HD, and you can change the projection the way you like it. So that's a great thing. And as you can see, the graphics are richer, the camera itself has become better, and it also gets guidelines. So all of that is an improvement over the previous system. Now while we are on the topic of ADAS, this car has some ADAS features which are quite good, and let me just let you know all the ADAS features that it has first, and then I'll explain all the features to you one by one. So it comes with adaptive cruise control, bend cruise assistance, which basically allows the car to slow down slightly when it reads that the lanes are bending, and it doesn't go at the same fast speed while it's taking a turn, and bend cruise assistance allows it to slow down while you're taking a turn. It also gets lane departure warning, lane keep assist, traffic jam assist, which is a very good feature. And in traffic jam assist, what happens is, even if your car is traveling at sub 10 kilometers per hour speed, so generally what happens is that you can set the cruise control only about 30 kilometers per hour, but on this car you can set it at really crawling speeds as low as 10 kilometers per hour, and in bumper to bumper traffic the increments and decrements are going to be very gradual, and you can be assured that the car is not going to bump into the car ahead. So the traffic jam assist is very useful adaptive cruise control feature to be used in bumper to bumper traffic conditions which are very prevalent in cities like Mumbai. You also get intelligent headlamp control, as I mentioned. You also get safe distance warning. Now what is safe distance warning is that while the car is going to detect a car ahead, and if a collision is imminent, it's going to brake. Before it gets too close for comfort, it will give you a warning that you're getting close, so that the car doesn't really have to intervene and you get a warning in good time. You also get forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, but you need to understand that automatic emergency braking will recognize only vehicles, two-wheelers and pedestrians, and if there's a small obstruction ahead while parking, it's not going to brake, so you have to be careful about that. Also, there is the intelligent hydraulic braking assist, which would prime the brakes with further boost if an accident is imminent, and would bring the car to a halt in a much shorter distance. Then the map that I mentioned here has also been upgraded, and this map can now be used in as many as 5 languages, and these languages are English, Hindi, Tamil, Punjabi and Marathi, and it's a great initiative. It would allow people who are not very well versed with English to give the car directions and get directions from it in a language that they understand. Now, another great feature that MG have introduced here is that the ambient lighting can also be controlled with voice commands. And not just can you control the ambient lighting, you can also set it to random, where it will keep changing its colors all by itself. So that again is a new interesting feature that MG have introduced. As you can see right now, the dashboard here is done in a dull black, and you have upholstery done in this white. So that is for the 5-seater variant. If you go with the MG Hector Plus, which is a 7-seater variant, you'll have the upholstery in brown, which is a new brown and not the brown that we had before. Another new feature that MG have introduced is that when you turn the steering, the indicators come on automatically, and the level of turn that is required on the steering wheel changes depending on the speed you are at. So for example, right now the car is stationary, so you'll need to turn the steering more. But if you're driving, the steering will have to be turned lesser for the indicators to come on. Now another great feature that MG have added to the connected car suite is the group travel function, and if you have a bunch of friends traveling together in different cars, not necessarily MG cars, they can just download the MG app on their phones, and then you'd be able to locate each other's on the app itself, so you'd know where exactly the entire group is, and you would know each other's position on the road very easily. So that's a great new function that has been introduced on the connected car suite. Now the rest of the features are the same as before, and this is a pretty loaded car as it always was. I like what MG have done with the interior, soft to touch materials, the new design for the dash, the piano black and everything. It's just that in some places like here, the brushed aluminum isn't the best finished, and it could have been done in a slightly more sophisticated, more refined, more finished manner, and in some places the finish could probably have been a little bit better, but it does look classy and well done when you look at it as a whole. And at the rear, as we know, the car has always had the most amount of space. It's a pretty spacious car. The seats are very nicely done, and in terms of the mechanicals, the car has not changed much. It still comes with the same engines and transmission option that were available before. It comes with a 2-liter diesel with 170 PS of peak power, and the petrol that we have here is a 1.5-liter unit with a CVT as well as a 6-speed manual transmission, and the power output on these units has not changed at all. Now the auto headlamp, what it does is it measures the light outside, and if there's a car ahead of you, like if there's a tail light ahead of you, or if there's a vehicle coming from the opposite direction and it detects a headlight, or if there is street light, it'll by default keep the lights in low beam mode, and when there is no ambient lighting, it detects that there is no oncoming light, or if it's not trailing any vehicle, it'll put the lights in the high beam mode so that you can get better visibility. Now let's have a look at the back seat as well and see how much space we have there, although nothing has changed. As before, the floorboard is flat, which allows for free movement of your feet. There's rear AC vents, a USB socket, some space to spare, magazine holders, proper 3-point seat belt for the rear passenger, which is a great thing. You have a big wide armrest, all 3 adjustable headrests, rear reading lights, and of course a big panoramic sunroof. ample thigh support, good leg room, good knee room. So there really isn't anything to complain, and the fact that this is a flat bench and there is no hump here comes across as a bonus, as you actually can seat 3 here, and this seat is also 60-40 split. So while the boat is very spacious, you can put the seats down to make way for more luggage if you're traveling for a long holiday. The seats also come with ISOFIX child seat mount. So overall, no complaints here. Very spacious, very comfortable seats, and you can adjust them for recline angle as well. So there is absolutely nothing to complain about here. Now with this upgrade, the car also gets a new shade, which is dune brown, and apart from that, the 6 regular colors are also available. Havana grey, candy white, aurora silver, starry black, glaze red, and dual tone white and black colors are also available. Now the old MG Hector is going to continue to sell alongside this car till stocks last, and obviously with ADAS functions and all the new features that you just saw, this car is going to retail at a higher price. The prices have not been announced. They will be announced in some time, and when they're announced, you'll get the prices in the description below, so do check that. And while the Hector has always been a value for money proposition with the additional features and the upliftment to the interior, I really believe that the MG Hector is coming across as an even better value for money proposition. I really hope that this quick video gave you a good insight into what all to expect from the new 2023 MG Hector. Still, if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to answer them personally. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Motorides, and until next time, this is Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.